Are you serious? Are you serious? I want you to listen to Robert Kiyosaki, who predicted the Lehman Brothers collapse and what he thinks is about to happen in the American banking world under the current administration. Check this out.
Well, the same.
But Robert Kiyosaki was also famous for correctly predicting some of our biggest financial crises, including the collapse of Lehman Brothers, long before Lehman Brothers collapsed in the Great Meltdown. He also says we're not through with this banking mess right now. He joins us. What are you looking at now, Robert?
Well, the same thing, Neil. It is. This Fed, Powell, the biggest lie he told, he says this is transitory. And as we talked about on Monday, this is systemic. And the systemic problem is the bond market. And the bond market is global. So my next prediction, I called Credit Suisse. My next prediction is the biggest one of all of these, Japan. And when Japan went bust in 2009 due to the real estate bust, they did what we're doing today. Rather than fix the problem, they created zombie banks and zombie companies. And now they have negative interest rates. This is ridiculous.
They've had them for quite some time. Robert, I am curious, because Credit Suisse got this $54 billion cash infusion, if you will, and now First Republic got something similar, $30 billion. Has that at least taken them off your list of banks bound to fail?
Well, it doesn't solve the problem, Neil. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? It delays the problem. This reminds me, remember Bear Stearns?
Absolutely.
I think J.P. Morgan bailed them out and all this, and it just delayed the problem. AIG went down in 2008, and then Lehman went down. So I was on CNN with Wolf Blitzer saying Lehman's going next. And so what I'm saying today is that, Silicon Valley Bank is like Bear Stearns a few years ago.
So you have a contagion sense of this, that when you hear Janet Yellen talking about the fact that this is not another Lehman moment, that this is not another Bear Stearns and Merrill Lynch, going into the hands of forced government arranged marriages with the likes of J.P. Morgan Chase and, of course, the Bank of America. This is not that, you say?
I say that she is conflict of interest. She was head of the Fed and now she's head of the Treasury. And Bernanke got a Nobel Prize for being the Fed chairman. And these guys are the arson, like we talked about on Monday. They're the ones who caused the problem. And then they want to bail us out. Neil, my final words are, it's not what they're doing, is what are you going to do?
And what you recommend people put their money into commodities, specifically metals. I know you've been big on silver and gold. Explain why they're good bets in this environment.
Well, I'm not very religious, but gold and silver are put here by God. And God, gold and silver are God's money. And people don't like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is people's money. It's decentralized money. And that's why I like it, because the Fed, the Treasury, and these guys are centralized, which is Marxist, centralized banking. And so I'm asking people, it's not what they're doing. What are you going to do? That's my biggest concern.
So this is a haven for you? I know you say God put it there. Well, God put technically everything here, but you're saying that this is something that's beyond central banks' control?
Correct. They caused the problem. They're the arson, and they're trying to fix it right now. And so I'd rather have stuff they can't print. Like I own cattle, I own real oil, I own land. Anything they can't print, I want. Anything that can be printed, I'm suspicious of.
So you think we have a ways to go, certainly for stocks, by extension, or dollar, but you like these raw commodities that are not easily swayed in this, right?
Yeah, my concern is the people. Neil, the silly thing is when prices are going up, people just climb on. And when it crashes, they run. When the stock market goes down, they're on sale. Real estate goes down, it's on sale. When Saks Avenue has a sale, I'm shopping. But for some reason, when it comes to hard assets, what when they run for the biggest bargains going. I can't believe it. 2008, I waited till 2010, and then I started buying.
Wow.
And so the biggest opportunities are coming up probably 2 years from now if Bank of Japan doesn't go down. So it is a contagion.
Right.
And this idea that it's transitory, no, it's not. It's systemic. And so as you kindly let me always talk about is that they're not fixing the problem. Bailing out Silicon Valley Bank just made the problem worse. Okay. They haven't fixed the debt ceiling yet. I mean, the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and people rush back in. You've got to be crazy.
All right, we'll watch it very closely. Robert Kiyosaki, thank you very much. The Bank of Japan, to which he alluded,
So there you see, this is the guy that predicted the Lehman Brothers collapse in the S&L crisis before it happened in 2008. And he's saying that the bailout of the Silicon Valley Bank and Bank Republic and others is just a Band-Aid. It's not really a real fix. And that as long as the feds keep printing money, then that your inflation problem never goes away. It will only get worse. And that the answer is hard assets like land, property, land, gold, silver, cattle, things that cannot be mimicked or duplicated or printed by the powers that be. And also he is saying that this, I just seen him earlier on Fox, and he said that they're trying to collapse all the small regional banks, which and keep decentralized. In other words, trying to centralize banking into a centralized bank, and that's a one-payer mentality. It's the same thing that Obama did with Obamacare, forcing everybody into this slowly black hole of one-payer government healthcare, government-controlled healthcare. Well, if you get to a one-payer government-controlled banking, then there's no way to protect the public. So this is where he sees it going. We're going to continue to watch it closely. Meanwhile, you have these arrests that are going on. The news just breaking that President Donald Trump may be arrested on Tuesday morning or Tuesday by the Attorney General's office in New York, which is unheard of, a former president being arrested for something, especially with a former president running for president. That is insane. But even though he is being indicted, looks like the grand jury, and about ready to indict the president, Donald Trump, on the other side, there seems to be not even really an investigation at all into the Hunter Biden laptop and potential payments going to the current administration. So this makes people wonder, what in the world does all this mean? And is that all a distraction? Is Trump being arrested or potentially arrested to keep you from looking at what's going on the other side? Or is all of this to keep you from looking at what's going on with the banking crisis? Or is all of that, is the banking crisis to keep you from looking at what's going on in Ukraine? And is what going on in Ukraine, is that to keep you from looking at what's going on globally as the rise of the beast kingdom? I will be talking about the beast kingdom rising and tying this all together for you in a DVD I'm recording this week. It's a two DVD series, and I'll be recording it this week. And I want you to be prepared for it. I'll let you know when I'm going to release it, and I'm also going to be talking about it on the Jim Baker Show in a couple weeks. You'll be able to see it on television, but you'll also, if you go to the Jim Baker location, March 29th, 30th, and 31st, one of those 3 days, I'll be speaking there in a live seminar about Beast Kingdom rising and tying all of these things together. So just keep that in mind if you'd like to attend. God bless all of you. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Beast Kingdom rising is absolutely happening right before your very eyes.